My name is Eugenia Kennedy Smith. My presentation topic is about the socioeconomic status and the treatment of HIV. I have wondered why, when a celebrity contracts this disease, they seem very hopeful and upbeat. But when a person from a non elite group has it, this person does not do as well. HIV and AIDS is a relatively new disease. We have only known about it for 30 years. In the early days, it was known as GRID, or gay related immune deficiency, since a small number of gay men were initially infected. We were wrong. HIV/AIDS is not a disease affecting certain populations. It is a disease that does not discriminate. HIV does not have a look. The virus can lie dormant within a person for 10 years, slowly destroying that person's immune system and allowing one to unknowingly pass the virus to others. This map of the world depicts the areas of highest prevalence of HIV. It's very much attached to the poorer nations. It's much the same in the US. HIV can be found with greater frequency in poor inner cities as well as in rural states and areas within the US. Why does it seemingly affect poor areas more so than the affluent areas? What is the common thread? In my research, it wasn't that those of higher status are able to obtain better treatment. The treatment is the same, it's a matter of education. How can one obtain treatment if he or she is first unaware of their status? This is a shocking fact. 75% of people who are HIV positive do not have their virus in check. Either they stopped treatment or were never treated to begin with. Over 1.1 million people in the US are infected with HIV. Less than half of that number are currently being treated for the disease. HIV treatment can be tedious, time consuming, and expensive. However, many programs are made available to those who qualify. For many, a lifelong commitment to their drug regimen is not feasible. Costs can add up, and fear and stigma of the disease also plays a role. One must know that treatment can reduce the spread of the virus. The pros outweigh the cons. A reduced viral load can make the spread of the disease more difficult. Undetectable levels of HIV protects others from transmission. The type of treatment is not dependent on ability to pay. The differing cocktails are available to all. Why then are the less affluent more likely to spread HIV in their communities? Why is there such a gap in HIV longevity within the different populations? It may have to do with medication compliance. When one begins treatment, one must continue with that treatment. Perhaps the continued cost is a deterrent for continuing treatment. When treatment stops, the virus is able to build up a resistance, making resumed treatment more difficult. Prevention begins with awareness. If one has HIV, it is that person's responsibility to seek treatment for the prevention of the disease's spread. Today, minority women are the fastest growing segment of people with HIV, according to the CDC. Education is the key for these women. There is no difference in treatment for those who are higher up on the socioeconomic scale, so the issue is education. Those of higher socioeconomic status are more educated on HIV and other issues than those who are in the lower socioeconomic statuses. The goal is to increase awareness on HIV transmission. Risky behaviors must be reduced in order to stop HIV's spread. The control of HIV has to be a priority for everyone. We have to make sure that everyone gets the message. Testing, prevention, treatment are all key to the stop of this disease. Thank you. The research method used was content analysis. Various articles, interview transcripts, and journals were examined for content on why it seems that some people do better in treatment than others. My hypothesis was that the more affluent had access to better antiretroviral drugs. The content examined did not show this to be the case. Instead, I found reference after reference that those most affected either stopped treatment or never began treatment in the first place. That may or may not have to be due to high cost of medication or the fact that in poor communities there seems to be an abundance of hopelessness. However, my hypothesis was incorrect. Treatment of HIV is not fully dependent on the ability to pay. It is not likely that those who can afford it have better access. The wealthy are better able to afford treatment, but treatment does not depend on affluency. The poor are less likely to continue treatment out of the inability to afford medication. Content analysis proved my theory incorrect.